Okay, for all you folks new to fishing, I want to show you how to fillet a walleye. Okay, so this is kind of the classic way to fillet a walleye. And what it involves is you're going to cut, your first cut's going to be behind the gill plate on a line, kind of bit behind the fins here, like so. The meat you can see extends up into here. You want to get that meat, cut all the way along the outside edge here. You're going to make your first cut, like so, all the way up into the meat up here. Don't miss that little corner of meat up in there. And cut down and around until you feel the backbone. You'll feel the spine, okay? So you make that cut just like that, right on an angle, about a 45-degree angle, right behind the gill plate. Now, second cut, once you've made that first cut, then what you're gonna do is you're basically gonna turn your knife sideways, okay? You're gonna follow the spine all the way along like this, all the way down to the tail. You're basically gonna fold that piece of meat off the fish, just like so. Now, I can feel the spine there. When you get down to the spine, turn your knife sideways like that. And you can use the fin for your guide. You want to cut basically just along the top edge of these fins on the top and on the bottom. Okay, so you can tell if you're going the right depth. Turn the knife sideways. Now, it's hard to cut right here because you're cutting through the rib cage. Because this is a small walleye, it's not bad to cut through the rib cage. It's fairly easy, doesn't dull your knife too bad. So this is why we use this method for these smaller walleyes, under 18 inches, I'd say. Now, you want to put your hand on top and put a little pressure down, hold the fish in place. It also gives you feel. This is about feel. If you turn your knife up, you can go too shallow, you're going to miss meat. If you cut down on an angle too hard, you're going to cut through the spine, okay? So this is about feel. And that takes practice. You just keep wiggling your knife back and forth. Okay, so you're pushing towards the tail and you're cutting back and forth at the same time. So keep cutting, keep cutting. Right above, okay, I'm above the fins, I'm doing good. I can feel the spine. I can feel the spine. When I get to here, I leave this bit of skin attached. Peel back this fillet, and we've got the primary cut completed. So next step, okay, we've got the fillet laid out here. You want to cut this patch of silver skin right here. This is the body cavity, right? The top of the bones here. These are the top of the rib cage where they come out. We cut through those, okay? And you're essentially going to cut underneath that rib cage. You're going to scoop it out with your knife, just like so. And you can see the bones there. If you run your tip of your knife, you can feel them, okay? We're going to cut first, make a small cut along the top edge of these bones. You can really see them there sticking out, okay? Make a little bit of cut along there just to get it started. There we go, so it started there. Now you're going to turn your knife and you're going to push your fingers down from the top. It gives you control of the fillet. It lets you feel kind of what's going on down there and estimate how deep you got to go. Again, you're pushing down and you're wiggling at the same time. So cut down, push down and wiggle and bring that knife up just under the tip of the bones where they end, right there. Okay, there's no bones down this far. That's the whole rib cage right there, and it peels right out. Like so. That's the rib cage. These are the primary bones. You can hear them? These are the big rib bones that are really unpleasant when you're trying to eat the fish. You have to get this rib cage out. Okay, so we have the rib cage out. Now we have one more little step to make to get the last of the bones. The center of the fillet here, you see a line. It's called the lateral line. It's the central, the middle line of the fillet. Out in the rib cage right here in this portion, not back here. This is all boneless back here, the tail portion. But from about the anal vent here all the way through the rib cage, there's a section of bones right here along the center. They're little tiny bones. They're pointing basically straight up like this. You make a small cut on each side of that center line. Make a small cut on each side and just go ahead and scoop them out like that. It makes a little cut in the fillet, but it's really good because that is full of bone. That's a bony little piece of meat right there. That's got to go. Okay, we're almost done. Now the last step is now to skin this fillet. And what we're going to do more than anything is we're essentially going to scrape this meat off the skin. And that's why I leave it the back of the skin attached to the tail here, because then this fillet doesn't move around. It makes it easier. And you start cutting right about here. Hold on with your fingers so the fillet doesn't move. And you have your knife on an angle like that, okay, about a 45, not flat, not straight down, kind of a 45. The skin's pretty tough. It's hard to cut through. Again, you're pushing out towards the front side of the fillet and you're kind of wiggling back and forth, kind of scraping in a way, scraping your way along. And just before you get to the end, okay, this is where you have to decide, are we taking this fish home or not today? We're going to eat this fish out here today. If you're taking it home, you have to leave a bit of skin attached, so I'll show how you do that. About a square inch, basically, of skin. So just when you get to the end there, you stop and go ahead and cut off a sizable, nice big chunk of skin. Okay, that's so the conservation officer can tell what species of fish that you have here. And you have to leave this attached until you get home. When you get home, you're just going to take your finger and you're going to pull that piece, just pull that right off, like so. Wash it up and put it in the freezer. A beautiful greenback fillet. Gorgeous.